Imagine as a child you were neglected or hit for no reason. Imagine that you weren't given the same opportunities as everyone else. Hi, my name is Hannah Burns, and today we're going to be discussing a way to protect children, the environment, and overall lowering the crime rate in the USA. Licensing parents is not a solution, but it's definitely a way to improve overpopulation, child abuse, and juvenile crimes. Starting with overpopulation. Overpopulation is not something that America has had a problem with in the past, but in recent years it's something that's become very concerning. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, just shy of 4 million kids are born each year. That totals out to 240 every day. Americans are using our renewable resources 2 times the rate that they're able to be produced again, which means that all of America's goods are foreign. I think that comes out to 28.8%, or is what we're relying on foreign goods for. And those are just the things that we cannot get back. Politically, this has become a big issue because we're not able to be represented the way that we were before, and that's completely ruined our representative government. I mean, policymakers can't listen to all of us and provide for all of us. So this is all a serious problem that will come for later in America. So also a huge problem that America has is, unfortunately, we have one of the highest child abuse rates. 37% of children will experience child abuse within their lifetime. That's 7.2 million kids every year. Texas State Family Code Section 261.001 defines abuse as doing something or not doing something that brings harm to a child. There are 4 main types of abuse, including physical, neglection, sexual, and emotional abuse. 8.4% will experience sexual harassment, and the likelihood of that being a family member is even higher. 5 children die every day from child abuse. The kids who do survive child abuse will likely end up becoming a juvenile criminal. They go down the wrong path, and it's directly tied to childhood abuse. Children who witness violent behavior are much more likely to become violent themselves as an adult. Child neglection also statistically shows that child neglection also statistically shows that they're more likely to become or to commit large crimes. National Center for Juvenile Justice says that 25% of major violent crimes were committed by someone younger than 18. So, one juvenile, actually from the Burleson area, was found not guilty of murder through a drunk driving accident and because of the type of parenting that he received. The attorney went on to say that he was rich and sheltered and that he didn't know any better. So if that's not an argument for bad parenting, I don't know what is. So how would licensing our parents help? It would lower the amount of babies being born because only eligible people would be allowed to procreate. It would lower the chances of an abusive family because people would have to work harder to obtain the child, and then they would more likely want to keep it. And they're less likely to neglect a baby if they have gone through the parenting classes and have the education and understanding what it takes to raise a child. What exactly does licensing a parent mean? Licensing parents would improve these situations drastically. The process of going through licensing them would be similar to that of a gun owner or an automotive driver. The government would administrate these at a local level, but would eventually become passed as a federal law. The potential parents must meet certain criteria before applying, and after all of those requirements have been met, the parents must pass a background check and a mental health check. Then they must attend parenting classes every month until the baby is born, and then they will continue those classes every few years. There will be penalties for not having a license, such as fines and then so on. And then there will be many incentives for the parents who do go through the process properly, including groceries or help with children if they're wanting to have more. Licensing of parents is actually really similar to adopting. Adoption is thousands and thousands of dollars, and that just proves that those parents are financially stable enough. Parents of adopted children also have to go through rigorous background checks and house checks to ensure that they have a safe environment. They also have a very long waiting period. That waiting period builds excitement for the children and brings them into a loving home. And 85% of children that are adopted have the best health, and that means that they're just successful because the parents took their time to go through that process. So in conclusion, licensing parents would ensure that children are put in a loving home. It would give them a nurturing environment while simultaneously protecting our environment for future generations. So, thank you.